Well, the strength of the services sector in Europe, for example, probably glosses over some of the underlying challenges that you have in Europe with high energy costs. Already manufacturers in Europe are pulling back quite significantly, namely in Germany. And remember that Europe is a major export market for Asian exporters. So there we also expect essentially a decline in shipments coming through the second half of the year, which complements the pivot in U.S. spending away from goods. And both of the U.S. and Europe slowing down is going to be a headwind for Asian exporters. And then add China to this. Here, very clearly, the trade data over the weekend shows this weakness in domestic demand. And China is the third big export market that we really need to be humming. And that, too, looks like it's not really picking up steam. And so from that perspective, a trade recession cannot be ruled out at this point.
You know, Fred, you're an economist, right? So just descriptively, however you want to term what we're starting to see already, slowdown come recession, whether there's going to be stagflation, et cetera. I mean, it sounds as though, going by the factor PMI numbers you were just talking about, we are more likely to see a manufacturing or even an inventory recession first before we start to see actual consumption being hit. Is that how things are going to play out, do you think?
That's right. I think that's a good way to characterize this. A global manufacturing recession, in part, of course, because demand is slowing, but also remember, we're coming off of red hot manufacturing goods demand. The electronic sector, only a year ago, we couldn't keep up with demand. And so there is a lot of payback, if you will. And that's why the manufacturing sector is really kind of the most brittle part of the global economy at the moment. And that's where you're seeing the first signs of weakness coming through, whether in the US, whether in mainland China, whether in Europe. But remember, Asia particularly depends on the global manufacturing sector. Economies like Korea, Japan, Taiwan, all of them are very much exposed to global manufacturing demand. And so that slowing immediately is going to transmit into slower growth in Asia. Then we also have the inflation problem, but that's going to be a sticky one for us, and we think that will last with us well into next year despite a slowdown manufacturing.